Okay, guys, welcome back. We're going to be counting money again today, but we're going to do it in with groups that have different amounts of coins in them. So it's a little bit different than counting the same amounts, as you can't just skip counting by fives or by tens. You have to change when your coin changes. So on this very first one, this is an easy one. There's 3 coins. The first step for counting money with different amounts of coins is that you have to know what your coins are and you have to figure out what they are worth. So we know that this silver coin right here is a nickel, and a nickel is worth 5 cents. So we're going to put a 5 right there just to remind us. And we know these 2 brown ones over here are pennies, and they're each 1 cent. So now that we know that, we can begin to count. So we're going to start with our biggest value. Well, our biggest value is a 5. So we don't even have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We know that this is 5 already. We can start at 5, and we're going to count up by 2 more because we have 2 pennies. So 5, 6, and 7. And then it says write your answer in the correct form. So we could write 7 cents in a couple of ways. You can write 7 cents. Doesn't write very well. You could write 7 with the cents sign, which is a C with a line through it, kind of. Or you could write it in the dollar form. So we didn't have any dollars. There's your decimal point. And then when you write 7 cents, that's 7. So one of those 3 ways, all of them are correct. So we're going to do a little bit more practice with mixed numbers or mixed coins. So here we go. We have another little child's hand, it looks like, and we still have 3 coins. So remember, step 1 is we have to know our coins. Well, we see this is 1 dime because it's the little one and it is worth 10 cents. And then we have 2 pennies, which is worth 1 and 1. So when we go back to count this, we will start with the 10 because it's the biggest, and we don't have to go back and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We know we have 10 cents. So we start at 10 and we count up 2 more. 10, 11, 12. So our answer would be that we have 12 cents, and we can write it in one of those 3 ways that I just showed you. 12 cents with the dollar sign and the decimal point, 12 cents with the word, or 12 cents with the cent sign. In our next slide, we're going to have some more coins. We're going to start adding a little bit more, making it a little bit more difficult. So up here, we've got 3 coins, and here we have 2 silver coins. And if we look really close, we can tell that those 2 silver coins right there are nickels, which are worth 5 cents each. Excuse me. And we have 1 penny that's worth 1 cent. Now, when we count, we actually don't need to write 5 in each one if we know we're going to be counting up. So let's go ahead and erase this second 5. Now let's go ahead and erase this one, and I'm going to show you something. So we know this is 5, and we know this is going to be 5 more. So 5 more is going to be 10. So this means we had 5 cents here, and when we add this one, we have 10 cents. Now when we add this penny, we're adding 1 more, which means we have 11 cents. So 11 cents is our total, and we have 3 ways of writing it. 11 cents the word, 11 cents the sign, and the dollar sign and decimal point, 11 cents. So our next group of coins, you'll notice that we have 4 different coins. So we're going to count them all on this one. So we know that one's the biggest because it's the quarter, and the quarter is, of course, worth 25 cents. So we're going to start at 25 when we start counting. We're not going to go back and count from 1. We don't need to do that because they already told us this is 25. So now this one is a dime, so it's worth 10. So this number that we write on this one is going to be like 25 plus 10 more. So when we have 25 cents and we add a dime, which is 10 more, we get 35 cents. So if we just had a quarter and a dime, we would have 35 cents. But we have to go down here, and now we're going to add a nickel to this 35 cents. So we have 35 cents plus 5. We're going to get 40 cents. 35 to 40 is 5. So 35, 40 if we were counting by fives. And then we have this penny, so we're going to add one more to 40, and we would get 41 cents. So there's 41 cents, and our 3 ways we can write it. On our last group, we have more than 1 quarter. So remember yesterday we talked about how to count by 25. And as long as you can count up to 100 by 25, you've got it made. So we know 25, of course, 1 quarter is 25. 2 quarters is 50. 3 quarters is 75. So remember, 25, 50, 75, and we don't have another one, so we're not going to go to $1. So when we get to 75, we see there's no more quarters. We're going to have to switch by what we're adding. So now we have a dime. It says dime right there. So a dime is worth 10. So when we go from 75 plus 10, we're going to now have 85. And we got another dime, we're going to go 85 plus 10, which means we have 95. And now we have 2 pennies. So 95, and then we're going to add 1 to make 96. And we're going to add another 1 to make 97, giving us 97 cents in the 3 ways that we can write cents. So on this next page, we're going to do a little bit more practice with that. So we've got some more coins, and we're going to just start just like we have with the biggest amount, which is the quarter in this case. So we have 25. Well, we don't have any more quarters, so we don't need to go by 25s anymore. Now we have some dimes. So for each dime, we add 10 more. 25 plus 10 would be 35. 35 plus 10 would be 45. 45 plus 10 will be 55. So now we're out of dimes, so we have to switch it up. We are not going by tens anymore. Now we're switching over to nickels, which are worth 5 each. So if we have 55 and we add 5, we're going to go up to 60. Then 60 and 5 more is 65. 65 and 5 more is 70, which leaves us 70 cents in our 3 correct ways to write it. Our next group, we've got some quarters again, and we have 2 of them, so we are going to be counting by 25s one time. So we start with our 25, and we're going to add 25 more, which makes this 50, because 25, 50. Now, we don't have any dimes in this problem, so we don't have to count by tens at all. So now we're going to go straight to counting by 5s. So 50 plus 5 would be 55. And then 55 plus 5 more would be 60. It's good to brush up on your counting by 5s and 10s for money, huh? So now we have 3 pennies, so we're going to go up 1 3 times. So 60 plus 1 is 61. Plus 1 more is 62. And plus 1 more is 63. And there are our 3 ways of writing it. Our next group of coins, we've got 25 again. We're starting with quarters a lot right now. Now we have some dimes again. So now we're going to have to do some counting by tens. So 25 plus 10 is 35. 35 plus 10 is 45. 45 plus 10 is 55. 55 plus, oh, this is not a dime. So we cannot count by 10 anymore. Now we're to 5. So we have 55 and we're adding 5 more now, which will give us 60. And then we have this nice little penny that says 1 cent. That makes this 61. And we can see there in our box that we have 3 ways to write 61 cents that are perfectly correct. So this is our last box on this page, and we start again with a quarter. You usually would, unless you just don't have any quarters. So 25, and now we got some dimes. So 25 plus 10, 35. 35 plus 10, 45. And now we don't have any more dimes, we're on to nickels. So 45 is going to go up by 5, because this is a nickel, which will make 50. And then no more nickels. We are going to go up by 1, 51, and 52. And we will see in our nice little box down there, 52 cents, and our 3 correct ways to write cents are in that box. Now, the next slide we're going to talk about when you maybe wouldn't want to use cents or the cent sign when you're writing out your amount. And that would be when you go over 100 cents, which equals $1. So if you get to 100 cents, you're not going to use the cent sign or the word cents anymore. Once you get to 100, you start saying $1. So here's our first group. And the first thing we see is that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters, which if we were going to count them is perfectly fine. 25, 50, 75, $1. But do we need to do this every time? No, we certainly don't, because if we have 4 quarters, we already know that this is equal to $1. And we don't have to keep counting that 25, 50, 75, 100 when we can just see that it's 4 and we know 4 is $1. So we know we have $1 here. Now we just go to these other coins and we can see we have 2 dimes. So we're going to start with the 10. We're going to add 10 more to make 20. Down here we have a nickel, which means we need to add 5 more, 25. And 1 more for the penny would be 26. So we would write this as $1, and that's what that little decimal point means, $1.26. That's how you say an amount that is written in this form. So our next group, we look at the quarters and we say 1, 2, 3. Okay, well we can't do a group that makes $1 in this one, not with quarters. So we have 25, 50, 75, and then we don't have any more, so we can't go up any higher. But now we're going to go to dimes. So if we start at 75 and we count up 10, we're going to get 85, and then 10 more is going to be 95, and then 10 more is going to be 105, and then 10 more is going to be 115. Whew, got to remember how to count over that 100 when you're counting by tens. So 115, and then we got 2 pennies. So this is going to end up 116 and 117. Now remember, when we write this, we don't write nonsense like 117 cents, because once we get to 100, we start saying dollar. So when we write this out, we're going to have, it still looks like 117, but we're writing out $1.17. That's how money is written. So this is a good way to just get used to writing it that way from the beginning. So here is our last set over here, and we are going to count this one up just like we have been doing. So we have 2 quarters, so not enough to make $1. So we're going to count them just like we would by 25s. 25 and 50. So now we're at 50, and we're going to skip over here to the dimes. So now we're counting by tens. So 50 plus 10 would be 60, then 70, then 80, and then 90. And now we've got the dimes counted. We're on to the 2 nickels, which now changes us to counting by 5. 90 and 5 would be 95, and 95 and 5 would be 100. So now we have $1. So this group here, all of these coins together, make $1. And then we have this left over that's going to be the cents. So these are pennies. So we would just have 1, 2, 3, 4. And that makes our total $1.04, which looks just exactly like this. $1.04. Now you might wonder why we have that 0 there. And that's because since we have 2-digit numbers all the way up to 100, this 4 would be like a 4 in the ones place if you were doing a regular number. It's not called that, but you have to have a 0 there because we don't have any tens yet. So until we get to 10, there's no number here. So 4 cents, 5 cents, 6 cents, 7 cents, 8 cents, 9 cents, you'll have a 0 first, and then your cents. So in your assignment today, you're going to have some mixtures of coins, and you're going to have some that are above $1 and some that are below $1, and you're going to have to make a good judgment call on how that number is supposed to look as money. Remember with cents, there's 3 different ways you can write it, and with dollar, but once you hit $1, it needs to look like it looks right here with the dollar sign and the decimal point. Good luck on your assignment. Tomorrow, the lesson will be about counting bills with mixed coins. And then on Friday, we will do a few word problems. We may even stick in a few word problems tomorrow. We'll see. So I will see you later. Good luck with your work and have fun counting money. Bye.